Hey guys, it's Necro131, and today I'm going to be playing some FTL Advanced Edition. I just recently got this game maybe about 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago. Anyways, I've been really enjoying it, and I've been having a lot of fun. And I don't know if any of you guys play this. If you don't, I highly suggest you check it out. It's like $10 on Steam. It's a really cheap game, and it's a lot of fun. So, um, yes, confirm. I have managed to unlock every single ship except for the Crystal Cruiser, which is really freaking annoying. It's quite annoying. So I just kind of want to chronicle my quest for the Crystal Cruiser because it is one of the most difficult ships to unlock. And one way I'm going to speed this up, because I know you guys don't want to sit through me playing hours and hours and hours of this looking for the right combination of events, so I'm going to be playing with the Rock Cruiser Type C, which starts out with a Crystal Crew member, meaning you can skip the first two events that you need to complete to get to the Crystal Homeworlds. So it simplifies things quite a lot. I am going to be dividing up these videos into about 30-minute fragments, I guess, just because I think that's about as much as my internet can handle. We've changed our internet provider about 3 times now, and this time is the worst. It's just terrible service. Everything is bad. So I'm going to upload these as easily as I can. I found out sending them through iMovie helps a lot, especially if I finalize, and it only takes like maybe 10 or 15 minutes, but that's with 10-minute videos, so 2 or 3 times the length might take 2 or 3 times as long. I don't know. So let's get started. I actually did test out this ship a little bit beforehand. I only went through about one sector. And just so you guys know, FTL is basically a roguelike real-time strategy game. I'm really trying to think of how best to describe this, but that's about the best I can do. It's a roguelike real-time strategy game where obviously it's futuristic, and your goal is basically to defeat the Rebellion and save the Federation, which I think are both Star Wars and Star Trek references, because I think the Federation references the United Federation of Planets, and the Rebellion references the Rebellion from Star Wars. Yeah. So, I am going to be playing on easy, and I know I'm taking forever to explain all of this. That's because this is kind of the pilot episode. I kind of want to see how this does, and I think this is going to be really fun. I'm going to be playing on easy just because, honestly, I kind of have thought about this in depth a lot, and the Rock Homeworlds, which you need to reach to get to the Crystal Sector, which is hidden, generally occur around Sector 5 or 7. And if I play on normal, it's going to be a lot of me just dying in Sector 5 or 6. And I know that means I could get to the Rock Homeworlds. However, I think if I play on easy, I'm probably just going to double my chances of finding the Rock Homeworlds more easily. So, I think let's get started. We'll call this ship the Inquisitor, because I can. And I'll be content with that, and we'll start. So, the data you carry is vital to the remaining Federation fleet. You'll need supplies for the journey, so make sure to explore each sector before moving on to the next, but get to the exit before the pursuing Rebel fleet can catch up. You guys will catch on to the gist of this game really fast. It's not a very complicated game. So, as a part of the Advanced Edition, I do start out with a cloning bay, which is new. I actually did not have this game before the Advanced Edition was not out, so I don't know everything that's different between them, but I can make fairly good guesses, and from reading the wiki a bit, so I'll try and explain things as much as I can go. And those of you who have played this game will immediately know, and maybe you guys can help me out a lot. Okay, a ship with conspicuous pirate markings is orbiting a nearby moon, broadcasting a simple message claiming to have equipment for sale. Oh. So I can attack him, jump away, or hail the ship. I run into this event a lot, and whenever I hail him, I always take hull damage. I'm just going to attack him. Okay, this is a really easy ship. We should have no problem destroying this guy. This ship starts out with really powerful weapons. Okay. This Crystal Mark 1, it's a physical projectile. It's a really good weapon. This is the only non-crystal ship to have a weapon like this, and I'm not going to accept surrender, because that is a terrible surrender offer, even on easy. And for Sector 1. So, basically I'm just going to annihilate most of my enemies in the first sector, because I think this weapon actually does pierce through shields as well. I think it's one of the best weapons in the game. For 1 power, a fairly fast charge time, 2 damage, and shield piercing. It's just so ridiculous. I just literally just unlocked this ship, and I was messing around. I was like, what is this weapon? You guys are joking. But, anyways, it's a good ship. So, scans reveal a large asteroid field nearby. Short-range scanners may discover useful materials while we wait for the FTL to charge. I don't like doing nothing. I hate these, like, no, we're not going to do anything. I'm almost always going to take the chance on an event as opposed to doing nothing, mostly because you get better rewards. So I think I am going to explore the asteroid field. There are a couple, okay, fuel, that's really good. 3 fuel is, not great, but it's better than nothing, and it's better than hull damage, which occasionally does occur with that event. You arrive at the next beacon only to be immediately hailed by a small shuttle. Help us, we are being attacked by pirates. Once again, I am going to aid the civilian ship, because their weapons are not super dangerous. I just kind of target them first out of habit. So, this is going to be fun. Oh, crud. It's a good thing that only takes 1 power. That's a super huge thing, because it gets hit, actually I've noticed, quite a bit, but... And so you notice that this game is pausable, so it's a real-time strategy game that's pausable. I think that's a really funny, and it's just a brilliant mechanic. The thing about this game, though, one of the reasons I am playing on easy is that it is such a difficult game. It is honestly one of the toughest, most soul-crushingly terrible games to play. Which is why I'm playing on easy. It does make the game a notch easier. However, as I said, I've only been playing for about 2 weeks. A little more than that, maybe. And honestly, I've never beaten the flagship even on easy, which is the final boss at the end. For those of you who have not played this game, I don't know why you would watch this if you hadn't, unless you really want to see what this game is about. But it's just such a difficult game. So we're off to a pretty good start here. You can go back to the engines. That's where you belong. And that should kill them. Brilliant. Alrighty, that is not really great rewards, but I don't really care. Ooh, however, we did get an ion bomb, which is once again not a great piece of equipment and not very much scrap, but I mean, it's better than nothing, and if I can always sell it if I don't need it, so might as well keep it. So there's actually a certain mechanic in this game, in the order of your weapon slots, and so in this case, the first 2 weapon slots are positioned on the back, the last 2 will be positioned in the front. And for those of you who have played this a long time, you'll know what a volley is, where you launch everything, or you'll launch multiple weapons at once. And the order of how you position your weapons can actually be super important to your volleys. Because if you have weapons in the front firing first, they're not going to hit at the same time as weapons firing in the back. A rebel ship has been patrolling this region. As soon as you arrive, it begins its assault. So this is a pretty common encounter. The only thing that's unusual is they have a teleporter, which is a little unusual, but... Okay, where is he going? He is going to attack the shields, and fortunately my trusty Rockman can take care of him. I really don't like taking hull damage. So, I'm going to fire some swarm missiles on their shields. What I like about swarm missiles is it can launch up for 3 missiles, but it only costs 1, which is super convenient. Okay, there we go. I'm going to turn auto fire on. We'll get you healed up. Oh, wait, well, actually, we can't heal you up. I forgot. I'm so used to med bays. Quite honestly, I dislike clone bays. They're just not my playstyle. But I really think it's all subjective. I mean, there's so many different strategies as to how you can play this game. It honestly doesn't matter that much. That is, once again, a terrible surrender offer, even though that does have fairly good missiles. I don't really need more. Oh, I really cannot afford to lose my Crystal Crew member, because then this whole quest is useless. That is why, actually, that's why I'm quite fortunate I have this clone bay, is if I lose him in an event or something, I can always clone him back. Which is why you will not see me investing in a teleporter in this run. Oh, but this is really fun. I'm glad I'm starting a new series. I know I've started about, like, 4 now, and they've all kind of failed, but those were Minecraft, and what I hate about Minecraft is it's constantly being updated and changed, and it's hard to keep up. And this is a game that I really love, and so it's easy to play, and I love to play it, and so I think I can make this series work. The only thing that I think is going to be a problem is just the time. I should really pay attention to this event. You've encountered a refugee ship drifting in space. It looks as it was fleeing the rebel advance and ran out of fuel. Its beacon is active, but you're not sure anyone is on board. Hail them. And it's a pirate ship. So, I guess we're going to fight a pirate now. I think right now I want to invest in another layer of shields, just so enemies like this are not a problem anymore, and I just can't take hull damage. Come on, come on, come on. Ah, dang it. Okay. Oh, okay. I was like, how is that weapon still active? And I was like, oh, wait, it's not. Boy, I'm just a little blind when I'm playing this game occasionally. I'm like, how are those weapons working? And they're not. Doo-doo. So I realized that this part of the game is not super action-intensive. However, later in this game, when you're managing about 5 weapons and dealing with borders all at once and controlling and opening doors, this game gets super complicated really fast. And that's why I'm glad it's a pausable real-time strategy game, is it gives you time to think, what do I want to do with this situation, and how do I want to control it? Refugee ship thanks you for your assistance. Okay, well, wonderful. That gives me more than enough scrap to upgrade some of my systems. I'm going to go like that and get myself some extra dodge chance and an extra layer of shields. And that the second layer of shields, if you're playing on easy or even normal, is really, really good. Civilian colonists loyal to the rebel cause are present on a nearby planet. It looks like they're currently receiving a supply shipment. Could be useful. I really dislike this event. Not particularly because I am, like, really high-minded and I don't like stealing things from civilians. It's just kind of pointless. I mean, you can either wait and steal the supplies from the civilians, and half the time they're booby-trapped, so you just take hull damage. Or you can attack the rebels and get option 2 and 3 again, which is just kind of silly. I mean, why even include that option? I'm going to attack the rebels just for some extra scrap. But anyways, I'm sorry I keep interrupting my train of thought. This game continually throws things at me. Ooh, that's not super important right away. So I'm not going to necessarily deal with that quite yet, because these two are giving me dodge chance, and he's helping my weapon recharge rate, which could be important. But for now, I think I'm just going to wait until the end of the battle. Okay, cool. Once again, I apologize that I keep interrupting my train of thought, but I really think the second level of shields is super important for about the first 2 or 3 sectors. I mean, if you have level 2 shields, it like doubles the number of enemies that can do no damage to you. And possibly even triples, actually. I think there's a pirate and a rebel variant, and they're both riggers, I think, which is kind of the inversion of this, I guess. But it has a beam drone and a beam weapon, and it's ridiculous. So, I've got a distraction buoy, which is a really good augment. Sometimes. I mean, it can be helpful. With my playstyle, it's definitely helpful. So, it's one of those augments that make sense for me, but not everyone. So I can steal the civilian supplies, or leave the civilians alone. Well, I think in this situation, I'm going to be a greedy bastard and steal the civilian supplies. More than vaccination. Well, that was useless. Thanks for nothing, civilians. Could have at least given me something better. I know I'm being really, really heartless, but I don't care. Oh my. So, we can either hire the mercenary to delay the rebels, hire the mercenary to scout the sector, fight the ship, or I have no need of his services. Well, once again, this is a situation where you don't want to do nothing. Because no matter what, these things can be pretty good. We're pretty far into the sector to have him scout it. I don't really feel like I need to delay the rebels. I could fight the ship. I'm stuck between these two. I think I'm going to fight the ship, just because that would be more interesting. And this is a prime example of a ship that can literally not do damage to me. Half the time in the Advanced Edition, I see these beams here. I'm pretty sure they're mini beams. The only place that you see mini beams, other than on enemy ships, obviously, are on the stealth cruiser, which is kind of weird, because they're not common weapons. I forgot to repair the clone bay. I just realized that. So I should fix that at some point. Whoops. I will do that after this battle, unless I forget, which I probably will, but okay. They are dead. 24 scrap is not bad. 1 missile and 2 fuel is not bad at all. So, I will send that guy. I absolutely... Like, the Rockmen are not my favorite race. I really think they're good for putting out fires and blocking borders, and I think that's all they're good for. The only race that I, like, kind of dislike to play as more than the Rockmen are the Slugs. I guess they're just not my playstyle. I know I sound really, really, really just biased, but I just absolutely dislike the Rockmen and Slugs. They're not my playstyle. Not how I want to play FTL. Or not how I'm used to playing FTL, I guess. I do like this. I don't think you can lose crew members to this. So... Okay. Well, that was useless. More than I hate events that, like, make you fight something that you don't want to fight, is events where it gives you nothing. It just bothers me so much. Okay, so they've cloaked, which is annoying. Fortunately, since it's since it's Sector 1, it didn't last very long. I am going to focus stuff on here because they cannot hurt me. I'm going to let my swarm missile charge up a little, just to increase my chances that I'll actually hit. I'm going to shoot there. Whoa, what was that? No. That's why you want to fire 3 swarm missiles. Because they miss a lot. Unless you're fighting a really big ship, like against these, they're not very good, which I guess I should have remembered before I fired that, but it's all subjective. I mean, that only cost me 1 missile, not a huge expenditure, and now I know not to hit tiny ships with swarm missiles. Yeah, this crystal weapon is really powerful. 2 fuel, a drone part, and 14 scrap. Not bad at all. I don't know if I can make that store. I'm going to play it safe and jump to the exit. Just because I hate getting overrun by the rebels. Inquire about their specialty. 8 scrap to upgrade my piloting. Piloting costs about 20 usually. So I'm saving about 12 scrap. I'm going to do that. And there's actually I think there's actually blue events for upgraded piloting. Oh yeah, I definitely would have been overrun by the rebels. I think we want to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're gonna go this way, just because there's a chance that those could be the rock home worlds. Oh, fleet delayed by one jump. Distraction buoys can be really good. There are times when you really find them useful. I'm going to attack the Lania ship. They do have missiles, which scares me a little. However, it's not super concerning immediately. As long as I get my crystal shot off and they miss, I don't think it'll be too big of a deal. They hit my engines, which is not super pressing, but still should be repaired. So I'm actually going to have my crystal go and assist him. And we'll just keep that auto-firing. Oh, apparently I'm going to keep that auto-firing. I know it's kind of weird for me to be continuously targeting weapons when their weapons can't hurt me. However, what I've learned is the harder you, the more you damage a system, the more difficult it is to repair, and therefore I'm trying to make it so there's no chance that they could possibly get their weapons powered back up. Okay, and now I want to fire on their piloting system, obviously. And what sort of repairmen do they have? I mean, good lord, they must be leveled up and just about... Oh, come on, come on. Yes! I get really lucky with those sometimes. 36 scrap is pretty darn good. I'm going to do some non-essential upgrades right now. Going to upgrade my door system. Just because I really dislike being boarded. It just makes the game so much harder. I love boarding as a mechanic, though. Like, I love boarding people, but I hate it when I'm boarded. So I'm sort of hypocritical. Translator. Metal content more than sufficient. Does your ship care to exchange resources for excess metal? Decline but access. So this one, I really want to keep my missiles just because I have Swarm and an Ion Bomb. And 29 scrap isn't that good because missiles cost around 6. So that would be a really bad deal. I'm actually going to ask about the translation device because this gives me a Lanius. And Lanius generally cost about, I would say, 50. That's my conservative guess. So it's actually basically getting a cheaper Lanius, and this unlocks a whole ton of blue events for this sector. So it actually makes a lot of sense. Okay. So this is another one of those encounters that's sort of worrying, but not like off the charts. I'm, super concerned. We actually resisted damage. This ship has a really nice augment, which is rock plating, and basically you have a 15% chance to negate hull damage, meaning you take no hull damage, however your systems still take damage. So it's not perfect. However, I think it would be really funny if you managed to pair it with titanium system casing, which also gives you a 15%. Well, actually, it gives you a 15% chance to negate damage to systems, but you still take hull damage. So if you combine those two 15% chances, which would be like, I don't know the exact, it would be like about 125 out of 1,000 chance, something like that. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think you would end up taking no hull damage and no system damage, which would just be hilarious. Just be like, haha, nice try. And this should kill them. Alrighty. Pretty good scrap rewards. That was not bad at all. Let's go check out what this distress beacon is about. I may have to do a little bit of jumping back and forth. Pulses weekly from a Rockman ship. Their system, their hull, and their crew are being mined by the Lanius. I never leave people to their fate unless I really feel like they deserve it. Like, there's a certain quest for the stealth cruiser, and if you find this guy, he'll be like, oh no, we don't have the information you want, you were so stupid, let us go. And I'm always just like, You know what? No, you get to die. I mean, if you're going to... Like, if I met you in real life, I would want to punch you in the face. So I'm just going to blow up your ship. So I'm going to blow up this. The Rockmen need your help. You target the Lania ship and grimly prepare for battle. I don't know why this is grim. I have, like, one of the best sectors. What is with this layout? This must be, like, the general layout for every Lania ship in the sector. A missile launcher, an Artemis missile launcher, or either that or a Leto, I think. Why do they keep targeting my sensors? That's really weird. And a single burst laser. It's getting really annoying. It's like, why don't they have any other layouts? Do they have any better layouts? What's going on here? I complain about this game a lot. Oh, they've got their missile. I don't like missile launchers, so I'm going to target that. Yes, hit. Oh, they got a shot off, though. Okay, that time, they failed to hit my sensor subsystem, which I am fine with, but still annoying to take all damage. Alright, and hit their piloting system, which means they have 0% dodge chance, effectively. Yeah. So, 25 minutes into the Chronicles of the Crystal Cruiser, or the Chronicles of Searching for the Crystal? I'm just going to call this the Chronicles of the Crystal Cruiser. Awkwardly transmitted, it seems to indicate something about gratitude. They then jump away without another word. Well, thanks for nothing. No, I'm joking. Could have at least given me some scrap. That would have been convenient. Lania's crew. This is where the translator comes in. Hugely helpful. 6 drone parts for 25 scrap. I don't use drone parts, so that's a really good exchange. I don't have to use missiles, expend missiles in that. I'm going to now jump to that store, repair some hull damage, see if they have a better weapon. Not intruders. How do I want to shuffle people around? I think I'll move my Rockman like that. So they can slowly suffocate to death with the... Wait, I am actually going to make this even easier. And I'm actually going to have the Lanius sprint over. Crystal crew member, you go hide over there. Oh, wait. You, sir, are seriously injured. I have a clone bay. Is he skilled in... Is he sort of skilled in engines? I think I can afford to let him die. Although, it might actually be more convenient... I'll just switch him in. Stop freaking breaking my systems, you jerks. Okay, good. Excellent. I have John and Johnson. Weird. Okay, dealt with borders. Sort of a bad ship for borders. Okay, return to your freaking stations. That way we can actually get this whole debacle figured out. So, if you notice, everyone is really low health. I would consider just letting these guys suffocate to death. However, I think the skills are more important, and the clone bay is going to slowly heal them anyway. So, I'm just going to have them live. I figured that makes sense. Interested. I am very interested in buying something. I already have a Lanius. Let me see. Well, first I'm going to fix all, because that's pretty cheap. I'm just going to buy 1 fuel. I won't really need a ton of missiles. That leaves me with 78. I'm going to get mind control, because I like mind control. I think it's one of the coolest systems. The one thing I will need to do is upgrade my sensors. However, that's not a huge deal. I'm just going to open some of these doors. I almost opened those, which would have been disastrous, to say the least, because that would have emptied the whole ship of oxygen. It's times like these when I know I'm really, really brilliant. Alright, we're at about 30 minutes, so I'm going to end this portion. Please rate, comment, like, and subscribe. Do whatever you want. Just go ahead and show your approval of this video if you liked it. here at Flaming Gamers, we appreciate everything pretty much. I mean, we read all of our comments. So thank you very much, and I'll be back with another installment shortly.